sparkly.
I'm bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life.
And crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
Odyssey now has hundreds of new exclusive music stations for you to discover your new summer soundtrack.
Get moving with worthy workouts for a cardio sesh fueled by today's top artists.
Hanging with your crew? Throw it back with Picnic Party for old school jams for your cookout.
Or sail away with Odyssey's new yacht rock station, Jugger Yacht.
There are hundreds of new exclusive stations to check out today.
For summer barbecues,
road trips,
or relaxing poolside.
For every mood, every interest, every passion. By Odyssey. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
This is the Men's Room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Trippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
So let's start standing by. Say color 9 now at 844-999 Ola, and you'll play Profile This in minutes. But first, Robin, have we made it to Drink It Test?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized.
All the small
and the
stuff.
Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Great job it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast a man identified only as Mr. Wen from Guangdong province in China. First, as I did yesterday, quick side shout out to one Ms. Katie Porter. Shout out to Katie Porter. But back to Mr. Wen. He used a bottle of what they're calling traditional Chinese mosquito repellent and itch soother to, well, relieve a persistent itch on his backside. Basically, his butt was itchy, so he used a bottle of this stuff to soothe the situation. Well, after that, Mr. Wen, he started struggling to walk, so he took himself to the Dongguan Hospital and explained the situation. He was immediately examined and given an x-ray. Now, the x-rays revealed why he was struggling to walk. See, when Mr. Wen used the bottle of, again, traditional Chinese mosquito repellent and itch soother to relieve his butt, he literally used the bottle. The 2-inch wide, 7-inch long glass bottle was lodged in his rectum. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
He did not use the contents of the bottle. Maybe he misread the directions. He literally used the bottle because he thought that would cure his itch. That I don't know. He received emergency surgery. He's expected to be fine. But Mr. Wen, as ridiculous as the story as that is, he's not the only person to put something in that place that the sun don't shine. And believe it or not, I found a survey of doctors from around the world. And they provided us a list of some of the unexpected treasures they found in the patients from just 2019. All right, so from just last year.
All right.
Some of the things the doctors found in that place. We began with a metal air freshener can, followed by a folding knife, toothpick, a toothbrush holder, a plunger handle, mattress foam, 2 razor blades, a turkey baster. I should point out, these are all individuals.
They were probably trying to get something with the base.
This is not one person with all these, but again, we continue things that doctors found in 2019 in the backside of patients. We left off a turkey baster. We pick up with a condom wrapper. Let that sink in.
Condom wrapper?
Condom wrapper. Most adults will figure out how that happened. Followed by a coat hanger, a garden hose cap, a cigarette lighter, a toy hockey stick, a water gun, coins, one of my personal favorites, an egg timer, followed by a small...
Egg timer?
Don't worry, it gets worse. A small shampoo bottle, followed by a large shampoo bottle, a light bulb, an applesauce can. An apple sauce can. This is one of the things they found in the patient's backside in 2019. And we finished just in time for the holidays, as each year ends with the holidays, a Christmas ornament.
Ho, ho, ho.
So, Mr. Wen, you're not alone, but you still should be embarrassed. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Stephen Thrill, can we please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Porter. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Porter, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. First, I should mention that you are named after one of my favorite styles of beer, but I digress. As always, we have one of 3 stories for you to pick from, and this particular day, we have 2 stories that deal with the age-old favorite of ethnicity and race, or a story where you pick the drug the person was on to do the thing that they did. So again, you can pick from ethnicity/race, or figure out the drug that someone was on to do that thing they did.
Let's go drugs.
All right. Drugs. Wants to go drugs. You know, fire that up for you there, Miles.
Drugs.
Drug. Now it's official. Here is your story. In this case, and this story is insane, but the story involves a young woman who blinded herself while she was high. She's now spoken out about the experience. This as a warning to others about the perils of drugs. So kids, listen up. This might turn you off from drugs. Last month, one Kaylee Muthart from Anderson, South Carolina, she was rushed to the hospital after she was found tearing out her own eyes in front of a church. Why was she doing that? She thought at the time it was a sacrifice to God. Well, now she's completely blind, but as they say, but drug-free. The 20-year-old says life is more beautiful now, but only because she's kicked her drug habit. After months of struggling with drug addiction, she'd promised her mom that she would attend rehab. So her mom recorded the conversation so she could get a court to issue a court order that would make rehab for her daughter mandatory. So then just 1 week before she was supposed to leave for rehabilitation, she bought drugs from a drug dealer and took a larger dose than she ever had before. The next morning, according to her, and she says, look, her memory is a little fuzzy about the incident. She thought everything would end and everyone would die if she did not tear out her own eyes immediately. So again, she tore out her own eyes, believing that if she did not, the world would come to an end. Lucky for her, a passerby found her shortly after with her eyeballs in her hands.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. According to the people who saved her life, she was screaming, quote, I want to see the light. And she tried to fight these people off, but it's hard to throw a punch when you got an eyeball in your hand. Now, she's currently attending outpatient psychiatric treatment as well as physical therapy, but she plans to pursue her dreams of becoming a marine biologist. She's also trying to raise money for an eye-seeing dog, or for a seeing eye dog through GoFundMe, etc. So she does still get upset about the situation, but she says, look, she would rather be blind than be on drugs. But again, she's blind because she took more of a particular drug than she ever had before and ripped out her own eyeballs.
I can't imagine getting through the pain of doing one and then thinking that I could do it again to the other eye.
I'm guessing, my guess, as I've imagined in this scenario in my head, is that she did both at the same time, kind of one hand per eye.
That brown bear attack that happened up in Canada, that guy got away because he stuck his finger in that bear's eye. The story of the great white shark that attacked the guy in Wales, or in Australia. He did the same thing. After he punched the nose, the only thing that would let the shark let him go was him gouging out his eye.
But that's because neither of those animals were on either of the 4 drugs that I'm about to share.
It's also how Chubbs got away from that alligator that bit his damn hand off.
Yeah. Sadly, I know what you're talking about, yes. All right, so here's my question. This woman ripped out her own eyes and had them in her hands, and look, she's doing much better now. But do you believe she was on heroin, bath salts, meth, or PCP?
I'm going to go with PCP. That was my first thought.
All right. I see what you're thinking here. Where was it again?
This is in South Carolina, Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson.
Heroin, bath salts, what was the other choice, meth or PCP?
Heroin, bath salts, meth, or PCP, yes.
All right.
Do you know Anderson, South Carolina?
I think it's famous for the Confederacy had a prison there during the Civil War.
Awesome.
Now, let me ask you a question.
I don't know. That was the name of the prison. I don't know if it was there, but I'm assuming Anderson would be the
Are not, you can just go out and buy bath salts? Is that what I'm understanding?
I don't know because I've never actively pursued them. I would think at this point, maybe not, based on all the stories that came out when it kind of hit big a few years ago, like people eating other people's faces, that usually that reflects poorly on your product.
Well, heroin is a painkiller. So it will kill your pain. I don't know to the extent where you could rip your eyeballs out.
I mean,
but even if she had too much of that, the chance would be that she would just overdose.
Maybe. I don't know enough about any of them. And I mean, other than bath salts or people were eating each other's faces, I've rarely heard of someone ripping out their own eyes who was not just psychologically damaged in advance.
But when I say you get a stronger or a bigger batch, in heroin's case, it slows your heartbeat down. So it slows your system down to the point where you stop breathing and you just, you know what I mean?
Rip out your eyeballs.
You basically just need to be jump-started.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you would have the type of energy if you had too much hair.
I want to rip my eyes out. I just don't have
I'm
the
too
energy.
tired, and I don't want to do that. Now, bath salts, to me, that seems like the way this should go. Just simply because every story that involves bath salts has been crazy. I don't think anybody on meth has ever ripped their eyeballs out. PCP, we know, is a hell of a drug, Porter. That's why you picked that. And to be honest with you, as many times as we played this game in the new format with drugs available, when something extreme happens, PCP tends to be the winner.
It does. But also, I'm going back to, if you're on meth, you may have been up for days. So something crazy like this could happen to you.
And you know you're going to rehab, so you're going to throw one down one more time.
That's the thing. She knew she was going to rehab. She was a week out, went to her drug dealer, and just did more of her favorite drug than she had before.
I mean, it's hard to get away from PCP as the choice I want to make.
Sure.
With too much, though, you're right. It could be meth. Because if it's a regular drug dealer and you're going to get it all the time, my money says you're not going to get bath salts all the time. So meth would tend to be...
I'm pretty sure bath salts you could buy at corner stores. That was kind of the issue. That and the fake weed. Like, that's why people were getting all strung out because you could get it.
I'm going to get crazy on this one, Porter. I know what you're saying, but I think I'm going to make my choice to be meth because it's more than the normal amount. That's a regular dealer. It's probably what she gets from a regular dealer. I doubt anyone does PCP all of the time.
Some people do because it's just cheap and that's their drug of choice.
Sure. Okay, all right. Where are you leaning here?
Honestly, dude, South Carolina, I was thinking maybe just too much meth. It seems like PCP's come up a lot. Give me the options again. Bath salts?
Heroin, bath salts, meth, or PCP?
Yeah, I want to say bath salts, but you're right. You wouldn't buy bath salts from a drug dealer, I don't believe.
All the time. And then get a heavier dose.
You know what? I'm going to go against my instinct, but I'm going to go PCP. She was doing dippers and got a full one.
Okay, shermed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Porter, do you want to stick with a PCP being your final answer?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
Okay. We're going to find out if this lady who ripped her eyeballs out and had them in her own hands was on heroin, bath salts, meth, or PCP next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Mentor Radio Network.
I'm Sparkly.
I'm Bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life
and crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a Shakespearean actor.
Oh, woe is me. Wherefore art thy claims help when I hadst a fender bender?
Pardon the interruption, but when you file a claim with Geico, your claims team will be in touch right away.
But willest they forget about me later when thou needest updates?
No. They'll always be there to, helpeth you out.
Well, I suppose that I should bemoan something else, like my lactose intolerance. Oh, whyest must dairy disagree with me so savagely?
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Hola, bitch, hola. You have entered the men's room.
We're in South Carolina. I'll profile this. Profile this today is guess which drug the person was on. A woman was found in front of a church. When someone approached her, she was incoherent. However, she had ripped both of her eyeballs out of her head and had them in her hand.
Correct.
She was on her way to rehab just the next day, but decided to go to the drug dealer one last time to get, hopped up. And she got a little bit too much, I believe. So the question, based on what she did, is the drug. Was she on heroin, bath salts, meth, or PCP?
And that's the question we posed to you, Porter, and you came back with PCP. You began and ended with PCP, and let's face it, we've had a couple of PCP stories on this very show, and without exception, their actions are very, very extreme, so very good guess, but that is not the correct answer. Miles, believe it or not, you nailed it with methamphetamine.
She was on meth.
Yes, she was
That's
high.
my first thought, too.
Real high on meth and ripped her eyes out of her head. And like I said, now that she's kind of turned the corner, she's speaking out and trying to encourage other young folks to not do drugs, man. And if that one doesn't help, I don't know the story we could tell you.
Yeah, drugs are bad. See it for yourself.
Rip your eyes out.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, Miles, your choices today are the Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Okay.
David Spade. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right. These guys all have a team of professional writers come up with their monologues each and every night, so it's up to you to determine which of these late-night hosts deliver the joke, or is it a The Ted Smith original?
Correct. Hostess is releasing new iced latte flavors. Hostess is releasing new iced latte flavors like their snack cakes, Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and Snowballs. They're caffeinated. You'll be wide awake for your heart attack.
The Ted Smith.
Jimmy Fallon.
Hostess is releasing new iced lattes flavored like their snack cakes, like Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and Snowballs. They're caffeinated, so now you'll be wide awake for your heart attack.
3 out of 5 people said they'd break off a new relationship if the person wasn't, quote, sleep compatible with them, according to a new survey. Wait, you let people sleep over?
The Ted Smith.
All right.
I mean, come on.
I thought that was a little David Spade-ish.
It is, but
You don't think David Spade lets people sleep over all the time?
I doubt it.
Oh, come on.
That guy gets around.
Yeah, I think he's like, now serving number 17.
Yeah, exactly. The horchata's cold. You should be on your way.
Time to dig a mud hole with my spade. Let it go.
Taco Bell has unveiled a new menu item that is made up of 3 connected chalupas, and they're calling it the Triple Lupa. As in, I just got back from the cardiologist, and they say I need a Triple Lupa bypass.
Seth Meyers.
Taco Bell has unveiled a new menu item, which is made up of 3 connected chalupas that they're calling the Triple Lupa. As in, just got back from the cardiologist, and they say I need a Triple Lupa bypass.
A hoax online falsely claimed that Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe, I cannot read. Start the music, Miles. Start the music. I'm sorry. I apologize, people. I hopped up on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch ice cream. A hoax online falsely claimed that Harry Potter star David Radcliffe has the coronavirus. He says it's not true, but admits he did once have Hogwarts.
David Spade. Yeah,
Spade.
A hoax online falsely claimed that Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe has the coronavirus. He says it's not true. He admits that he did have Hogwarts once, and that was when he was a kid.
Yeah. So let's see. Obviously, everybody knows everything going on, or maybe you don't. A lot of things happening right now with the coronavirus in our country. We saw a lot of TV shows stop having studio audiences. Mm-hmm. But then as of last night, especially with the NBA kind of being first and foremost, they just said, look, we got to suspend the season.
Right.
They were talking about having games with just nobody in there, but again, they tried that in Italy last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. And then within a couple days, they closed the whole country down.
Sure.
So I think when you hear you hear how much I talk about sports. Trust me, nobody likes and watches sports more than I do. Well, people do. I'm just saying, I love sports. But we don't need to complain about this. Like, they're doing smart things for people. I think it sucks for kids that they can't play in the NCAA tournament, but also we got to keep safety of people paramount.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people complaining about it, but I mean, in the end, some people are like, oh, it's just a cold, it's all these other things. Keep in mind, the same people that told you that are now running scared because they're worried they have coronavirus.
Correct.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing about information. It does not care what your opinion is. Just understand. And this is, the whole world is basically doing the same thing right now. Like, man, we need to cancel this, do this. Airline industry, all this stuff. It's not some pre-planned thing where someone said, you know what, to make someone look bad, I'm going to bankrupt my retirement. That is not what's happening. There's a virus going around, and it's bad.
Right. It's a pandemic, and to be honest, it doesn't help anybody.
No.
So the idea that
nobody benefits.
Right.
People are losing their jobs.
Right. Industries are being crushed. People can't go to work. And still, in this country, we still have a lot of testing to do.
Right.
Like things are going to happen.
But you got to remember, we're where we're sitting right now. This is just the beginning. Everyone else has yet to feel the wrath of this thing yet. We are a little bit more educated about it simply because it was here first. Otherwise, we
Lucky
think,
us.
when is it coming here? I wonder what we'll have to do. We can read all this stuff. But until, again, like Samantha Bee didn't have an audience last night. Until you watch the scope of this, you're not watching basketball anymore. I don't know what ESPN's going to do.
Well, honestly, I was talking to Mike about this earlier. I think ESPN and the NFL Network have it kind of easy because they own so many rights to so many games. Just replay old games.
Yeah. I mean, if people wanted to watch that, sure.
I'm thinking in the idea of people being stuck at home for a while. But if you replayed old games on a Saturday, like, look, I'm a sports junkie. I'd watch them.
They have ESPN Classic. No one watches it, but now they might.
Well, I think what's going to happen, man, I think if you're one of these streaming services, things are about to be real good for you.
Yeah,
they're probably one of the few industries that truly. So if it is a hoax, chances are it's Hulu.
And I think these are the most important things that matter in this whole thing. But the fact that Kansas pulled out first, as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned, none of their players are going to play. Men's, women's, their sporting events. You have Duke University, which is one of the foremost medical colleges in the country. Those doctors, it'd be like the guys at Hopkins. When you have one of those schools, it's different if you went to NC State. It's not that they don't have good doctors there, but damn well, if you go down the road, those are the best.
So the NCAA tournament is now canceled. But you're right. Duke and Kansas came out this morning and said, hey, we're stopping sports.
Correct.
I mean, that's the other thing that happened with the NBA, right? I mean, they literally, if seeing a team doctor run onto a court to stop a game because a player just tested positive, I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but that sends a chill down my spine.
I side with science. It's just something you don't have to like it. But the beauty of being an adult. Like, I get if my kids want to give pushback and they're like, hey, you're kind of idiots. You're cute, but you're dumb. But as an adult, you don't have to like where the evidence takes you, right? But part of being an adult is accepting the evidence of what it is. And then hopefully taking the right precautions and all that. So
correct. Right. And a lot of things, and I get it. Like, people had trips planned or whatever. Like, that stuff's...
I did. So did I. It's done, dude. I mean, it's over, right? But,
right. And that's the other thing, too. I just wanted to say to people is just, look, it's going to be tough for a lot of people. You know what I mean? But, like, people are losing jobs. Careers could end.
But I want to watch the tournament.
Right. If you miss a sporting event or a trip, you'll be okay.
You'll be fine.
Let's see. Miles, you're right. The View did not have an audience there, but basically they still had some fun. Rosie O'Donnell was still taking shots at Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Who was 33 years old.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck's only 33?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Cindy McCain, and I'm thinking of the different show.
Oh.
No, Cindy McCain is often. Hasselbeck and her was...
Right,
Hasselbeck was
like
the first... It was like the first very conservative person on there. Then she left, and then Meghan McCain, right? Yeah.
Meghan McCain.
That'd be a badass nickname.
But yeah, like I said, NBA's been closed down. MLS said they're suspending things for 30 days. What else? NCAA tournaments are canceled. I mean, NCAA just said we're done with spring sports too. They've already canceled the College World Series.
Opening day pushed back 2 weeks.
Right, baseball pushed back opening day.
XFL.
If that news hasn't come down, it will soon.
Yeah. Well, I believe, and there's some conflicting reports, but I think they said they've suspended the season for the rest of the season. If you're on a team, you'll get paid out your basic salary through the end of the year and all that stuff.
You can't just open up a stadium with 250 people in it.
Well, you can. The Dolphins have been doing it for 2 decades.
Right.
But generally speaking, other teams expect more than that.
I'm just talking about the people it takes to open up the door.
How many people do you think it takes? So just to open, you have a football game, none of the teams, nobody, but the people that, concessions, your voice guy.
Before you even get there, training staff.
All right.
You know what I mean? Assistant coaches. You've got doctors that need to be there. You have EMT that needs to be down there. You have officers that need to be down there. That's
ticket takers, security.
Correct.
Right. You think about just that many people. You're well over 250.
You're 100 each on the sidelines as far as your staff is concerned. You might only have 50 players, but there's 50 other people out there walking around.
Yeah, and you're right. Because, I mean, when I MC the Cage Sport MMA, like, when we're back there, I mean, that's MMA, right? So that's one dude fighting one dude. But generally, in your corner, you're going to have 3 coaches, right? And then you're talking about
trainer.
I'm there. Kenny's there as the ring announcer, right? Halquest is there. Like, I'm thinking, you're right. Like, there's probably 20 of us just on the staff to make the production work before we even get to the fights.
Guy who runs the scoreboard.
I mean, if we do, like when we do big concerts, at the station, man, you'll see the bands, and then the bands all bring their own entourage being roadies and all that. Yeah. But some of them, they bring their girlfriends and all that. But then there's the entire staff that does not travel with the band, that has done all the stage setup and all the lights and there's probably we do a thing called paint on the grass, backstage, not including us from the station, but I'm saying when we get there, and the guys with the buses, the bands, the roadies,
security.
I mean, it's at least 250 people already.
250 people and always at least 3 small dogs.
Right. God, you're right, man.
There's always a small dog.
Lap dog. Last year I took one home.
In a good way.
In a good way. I adopted her.
Sound like you just palmed a dog from some band.
Ooh, cute dog.
Right? Oh, you guys really crushed it out there on stage.
Yes, I sleep at.
What time you going on stage?
Right.
All right, let's see. If there was a NFL player that you think would be a wrestler, who would that be? Former NFL player.
I know who it is, so
okay.
But I believe that this person is the perfect person to transition from NFL football. Come on, Miles. Big frame, all right? So you got to have a big frame. Somewhat, plenty of charisma, because WWE is about that. I mean, if you have no charisma, you're done, right? Lots of charisma. Big guy. People already like this dude.
Well, it's not Greg Hardy.
No, it's not Greg Hardy.
Former Patriot star, Gronk.
Oh, Robert Gronk.
Yeah, so it makes so much sense. You're like, all right.
Problem is, you can sign him up. How long is it going to take for the WWE to get up and get going again? You know this is their Super Bowl coming up.
Oh, WrestleMania.
Right. WrestleMania is on the way. And normally, I mean, if anything, they'll put more people in the stands than the Super Bowl can.
Yeah.
So there's no way that that's going down.
Right. He's in talks with WWE. It sounds like it's about a done deal. They said he's interested in doing about 5 years with them.
Wow. Okay.
Which is crazy. But with that said, I don't know how long wrestling contracts are, so I'm out of there.
They're paying him bank.
Remember, he took part in WrestleMania 33 a few years ago when he jumped a barricade to help out his buddy Mojo Rawley in a match. Mojo, by the way, proud Maryland Terrapin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all his gear's always like that. Yeah, so who knows, right? And it's so weird right now what we're going through, because this is like, dude, he could show up on SmackDown by next week. Like, I don't think he's going to be a SmackDown next week.
I don't think you want to be that close to another man.
Now he's all sweaty.
It's spandex for,
we're hugging on each other.
15 minutes.
Hey, man, how you feeling? Just body slam. You feel all right? I'm all right, dude. How about you? Good. Gut punch. I'm all right, man. I got the chills earlier. Like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
The Hulkster's feeling incontinent.
Well, and it's like
Miles take a little break from the ring and run backstage real quick and handle some Hulkster business.
Yeah, but the whole point about the WWE is to get the crowd into a frenzy, to get everybody whooped up and excited and everything else. And you can't do those intros. You can't play all those roles
empty stadium
when you're just dry running it.
Well, the other problem is, too, I mean, this is what happened with Rudy Gay last night in the NBA, right? Like, they found out he had tested positive, right? So then they rightfully they cancel the game, they send everybody home. But you got to think about how long did he have it? And how many cities had that team played in? So it'd be the same thing with WWE. You're taking a road show all around. Right. Like if somebody's, you know what I mean? Now you're just infecting people.
You got to wonder. Yeah, you got to wonder.
That's been the big thing.
Utah was one of those states that really didn't have a lot of cases.
Well, they did, but again, if you don't test, you don't know. So it's such a misnomer to make the statement. The thing is, you got 2-3 weeks warning. You decide not to do anything because you think it's going to go away, and then this is what happens. But that's also why they call it a warning.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like, hey, man, like if there's a hurricane warning, you can evacuate, you cannot evacuate, but typically the hurricane shows up whatever you decide to do. That's all.
Right, and a lot of things, like we've been through them before, right? That's the thing. We're just not in a good way, but we're in territory that we haven't been in before.
Sure.
So a lot of things are going to happen. So, I mean, I think a lot of people like me are looking at what's happening in Italy, and you're just like, I can't believe that's happening. Now it's like, I get why they're doing that.
It's a couple hundred people a day are passing on.
Yeah. It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever, as bad as they are, massive floods, at least you've been through it. There's
right.
Your first responders have some way of, this is a whole new thing.
Right. There's plans in place to deal with the aftermath of those things, for sure.
And when it reaches other countries that are less capable than some, the death toll is going to be astronomical.
But the difference, I bet you in the incapable countries, they will put an effort forward. That's one of the differences.
All right, Brad Pitt, you know him as a Oscar winner. Can you guess what his
I know him as that brother that owes me $20.
He was the guy who smoked weed out of the Honey Bear container.
He was?
Yes.
Well, now he's got a show on HGTV.
What?
Did we do that at the same time? Really?
Yes.
That was cute, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, thanks. Thank you.
Here, pinkies.
Basically, the Property Brothers.
Property Brothers.
Is it brothers or brothers?
I'm taking your property, player.
I mean, come on.
You don't want me to knock on your door.
Property Brothers.
Surprise! I moved in next door and your value went down.
Do you want to buy some
Property
Thin Mints?
Brothers. You gonna sell the house for $500,000? I moved in next door, $350, player.
Property Brothers will continue after this brief message.
What happens when you reverse gentrification?
Yeah, Property Brothers. Oh, you enjoying the suburbs, dog?
Have you seen the new neighbors that have moved in yet?
You got a great backyard. I'm sitting in the front.
Maybe I'll make, I don't know, macaroni salad and...
Don't put cranberries in there, player.
Take it over?
Your wife keep putting raisins in my chicken salad, dog. What's up with that? I was trying to be cool.
I was just trying to be nice. I took him some chicken salad, and the look of disgust on his face was unbelievable.
That's my mom's secret recipe.
It's my mom's.
Thank you, Ted. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navien, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man arrested in domestic after throwing a McDonald's McDouble at his girlfriend's head. Meanwhile, Florida man breaks into a truck so his underwear will not have skid marks or tread. Florida man arrested after dancing naked in his driveway, throwing rocks at passing cars. Youth hockey coach attacks referee, and instead of time in the box, it could be bars. And a woman in Peoria, Illinois goes all out during her DUI arrest. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
Our top story, we head to the UK, where a convenience store clerk got creative with his choice of weapon. Late in the evening, a man dressed head to toe in black entered the store and attempted to rob the store of cash while brandishing a large blade. At this point in the surveillance footage that was shared, we can see the clerk reach for something under his counter before hurling it at the robber. Turns out that the clerk's choice of weapon was chili powder. Smart. This was enough to deter the robber, who fled the store pawing at his eyes.
Hey, man, this is the second time I've heard this now. There was a guy, I think it was an Indian restaurant, where if you're going to go spicy, to be Korean and Indian, they're going to get you. But it was kind of the same thing where I guess they wanted money or whatever the issue was. But yeah, the guy grabbed a handful of some Indian spice.
Right.
Threw it at this guy, man, and like it was game over. Yes, it does.
You're throwing a cloud of spicy stuff at him.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You just got obeyed.
Obey me.
Yeah. You got Johnny. This Johnny's isn't too spicy.
No, but still, salt in your eye's not going to feel all that good.
Yeah.
So I don't use it, dude.
How'd you rob that store? I bait him.
The Old Bay Bandits.
In other news, in Peoria, Illinois, a woman was pulled over early in the morning for running a stop sign. The officer got into the window to find a woman in her late 20s dancing in her seat to the music on the radio as she gave him her information, all while reeking of alcohol. She admitted to having 2 shots at the gentleman's club that she worked earlier that night and agreed to take a field sobriety test.
Sure thing.
Which she did, interrupting it multiple times to dance to the song on the radio that she, quote, just really loves. She was arrested after she blew a .204 on the breathalyzer.
Wow.
Man.
Man.
It's getting it done.
Mm-hmm. But at least she was cooperative.
Right.
Again, we've had 2 stories today where the cops had to deal with someone who's drunk, but instead of the usual drunk response of fighting and bitching, one guy tried to kiss the cops. This nice woman, she's like, look, I'll do the field sobriety test. Just let me dance.
How much
She worked in the gentleman's club.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The song was on the radio that she was blasting.
Yes.
She wanted to hear it louder, so she turned it up. Again.
Right. The cops are there.
The main part of the story. What song was so good that she kept turning it off and up and dancing during her field sobriety test? Like, she would reach back in like, hold on for a minute, I love this.
Right. This is the middle of the field sobriety test. She's like, hang on.
Right. I got to know what song. Is it Juice from Lizzo? I mean, what the hell? I mean, what was it that was so good where she was like, I got to keep on dancing?
Either that or she's about to go to jail and she just doesn't, whatever, I'm going to dance to this thing.
Yeah, you're right, Miles. What's the club banger right now?
That's what I don't know.
Scott, Ted, you're our inside guy.
It's been a minute. I'm not sure.
We'll go back to Ted in just a few moments, but first.
Maybe it's a song she dances to on stage, in which case, pour some sugar on me.
Boom. Another battle in the war on the nude. A man in Florida was arrested after his neighbors took issue with him standing naked in his driveway throwing rocks at cars.
Yeah, people take issue with that.
Officers arrived on the scene and confirmed his actions, and he was arrested without incident. Yay. People are getting a little ridiculous about toilet paper. A man in Florida was arrested for going to great lengths to get himself a roll. A man checked his Ring camera footage after he noticed that the 6-pack of toilet paper left in his truck had been broken into. The footage revealed the man sneaking into the truck at 1 a.m. and stealing himself a roll out of the pack.
Just one roll.
Yes.
I like the fact... I would still be annoyed, but hey, man, I appreciate you at least having enough respect for me that if you're going to be a thief, you left me some toilet paper.
I just take what I need.
Well, so the thing I keep reading now, they're anytime you say store anything, all right? Right now, it's Lysol wipes. If it's hurricanes, come and get food, milk, whatever. I said toilet paper always gets run. We can't explain it. So I'm going to explain it for people. Because people need to wipe their ass. Right? If you're telling people they're going to be at home for any period of time longer than they're normal, they're going to want to wipe their ass.
Yes.
And that's why they go, how is that a mystery? It's toilet paper.
How much are they? Okay. Another one out of Florida. A man was arrested for domestic battery after an argument at his home. The man got into an argument with the victim that boiled to the point of him throwing his McDouble like the victim.
Oh, the double!
Striking them in the ear, though it says that they didn't, suffer much damage from that. He later threw a vaping device at the victim, causing minor harm to the knee area, and the man was arrested.
The McDouble, that's the new one.
No, the McDouble.
This is a bigger one.
Well, no, the McDouble is just a double cheeseburger with one piece of cheese.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, throw it. I thought it was the double Big Mac.
That's a delicious sandwich, though. It's not too cheesy. It's just the right amount of cheese.
It is, but I would have been more upset if you'd thrown that thing. Ted was talking about the Big Mac double Big Mac, double Mac. Big Mac? I don't remember.
It's got
bigger Mackier.
Right, it's bigger.
He would have thrown that.
Yeah, he'd have been like, I'm mad, but I'm eating.
And on that note, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. Hang in there, people. We'll see you next time for Ted versus the FCC, and we'll finally get around to talking about the incident.
Yes, indeed, that is the case. But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
I need a change. You've been cold to me too many times. You're wasting money. You're a leaker. So I'm replacing you with a new Navien tankless water heater. No more cold shoulders, no more leaks. Just spa-like comfort and Navien peace of mind. And oh, I want you out today.
When you're ready for a change, ask your plumber about Navien or visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.